Hi everyone, I'm recording this video to talk about the day 17 exercise, and as you can see I have already loaded day 7 range.py, and plus for this one we also need the iris.csv, so you need to get two files into your project. Okay, and then I want to show you this question. We want to load a dataset in. Well, by the way, this is a really famous dataset if you're doing machine learning, data mining, or data science, and you will see the dataset almost 100% for sure, because this is probably the most famous dataset in the world of data science and machine learning. Okay, and then if you want to take a look, you see all the values are separated by comma. And what is that? That's called comma separated values, or CSV, right? Okay, and then our goal for this part is we want to load this dataset in by using the file access and then some string manipulation. Okay, and our goal is for each of the line we read. For example, we are gonna skip the first line because that's the header, and then say if you want to load this line here, and it should be like this. So, the first value is the line, it is the line index, and then followed by four float values, and then eventually we will have one string. Okay, and we want to put them together into a list. And if you see this one, the first one is the line index. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then followed by four float numbers, and then eventually this one, Iris setosa, it is the species of this flower, that is the iris flower. And then, by the way, in this set we have a total of 3 different types of the iris flowers. Okay, so let's see. For each line, we want to assemble a list like this. Okay, and then if I want to do that, and I want to start from the very basic, I want to do a file in equals open, and then the file name is iris.csv, and then the purpose is for reading, and at the very end I want to do a file in.close. Okay, and in the middle, let me do one thing first. I want to do a for line in file in, and then I want to do a print line. Okay, I'm just trying to do this part. Open the file, read all the lines, printing all the lines, and then close the file. And let me see if this can run correctly. Okay, it runs. And one thing I want to remind you is here, you see, after each line, since I'm doing a print, so this line from the file, it has a line break, and then when I'm doing the print, I'm doing one extra line break. So you see there are 2 line breaks. Okay, and then I want to get rid of this line, and then after read this line, I want to use the comma as a delimiter to split one line into a list of strings. Okay, let's see. Values equals line dot split and then parentheses. And what do? Oh, wait. We have to do a comma here, and let's do a print values. Okay, and then what do we have? Okay, we have this. So, actually, this is not bad. And what we are trying to do is we want to create a nested list for the whole dataset, right? We want to create a nested list to store the whole dataset. And this line is for the first line, and this will be only for the first line. And we want to put all the lines together into a nested, processed dataset. Okay, let me create that. So processed dataset equals a empty list. And then after I have each line split into values, and I want to do processed dataset dot append and then values. Okay, so I know I'm not done yet, and eventually I want to return the processed dataset. Okay, so let me run this version. So for this version, you see I got a nested dataset. You see this is the outer square bracket, and then for the first member that is one header. This is the one I want to get rid of. And how about we read this one? So this is the first line of the real value, and we want it to be something like this. If you compare this version with this version, you see there are a couple of issues. Okay, so number one, we have to get rid of the table header. We will figure out how to do that. And number two, for this one, compare this version versus this version. This one is a string. It should be an integer. And then followed by 4 float values. They should all be float values instead of strings, because now I still have them as strings. And the last thing, for this one, this should be a string. However, for this one, I have a \n, so I have to get rid of this \n somehow. Okay, so let me do the first part. I want to get rid of the file header. And how can I do that? Okay, I'm going to create a new variable called skip first line equals false. So well, this is a flag variable telling me whether I have skipped the first line of the dataset. So for line in file in, and then I want to do if not skip first line, and then I want to do skip first line equals true, and then continue. Okay, let me explain this code. Well, this flag variable tells me whether I have already skipped the first line. So as I'm reading one line in, I don't know if that's really the first line or not. So how can I check that? I'm going to check this variable. So if the skip first line is a false, so not skip the first line will be a true. If this one is true, and then I'm going to this if branch, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the skip first line equals a true, saying I have already get rid of the first line. And after that, I do a continue. What does this continue mean? This continue means I'm going to skip the remaining part of the current round of iteration, and then I'm starting over the next round. Okay, so let me run this part. Okay, you see the table header is gone, and now we have to fix a couple of things. Say before you do the append, here are some things you want to fix. First value, and then you want to cast into integer, and then second to fifth value cast into float, and then last string, get rid of the last line break, which is the last character. Okay, so those are a few things you have to do before you can say the values is really pre-processed, and then you can eventually append this to the processed data. Okay, so for those 3 steps, I'm going to leave them to you, and after you finish those steps, you should be finished. Okay, so good luck and for this exercise, and I will see you later. Bye.